Good. It's okay. We're going to show everybody this first.
Angel wing is a relatively
everybody see
common
how it's-
condition that
how it's sticking
affects
out.
waterfowl, and typically it's associated with a diet that's a little too high in protein, or for young birds that are on a high protein chick starter for longer than they should be. It can affect ducks and geese at any point in their lives, but if it's caught early, whether they're young or old, it's typically something that can be easily corrected, and that's done by a combination of manipulating the wing and repositioning it so that it can get back into the proper position, and reducing protein levels in their feed. So little Perrin here is 5 weeks old. I noticed 2 or 3 days before I did the wrapping that he was developing what looked like angel wing, and it became very evident the day before this wrapping that I'm doing that that's exactly what it was. None of the other goslings were impacted. They've all been eating the same thing, but just like people, not everything impacts everyone equally, so it's not a surprise. It doesn't mean anything is wrong with him, that he is the one that developed angel wing. His left wing is fine, no signs of angel wing in that wing. So I had already cut their protein about 10 days, maybe 2 weeks before, but they were still getting some of that chick starter at night when they would go to bed, and I think that's probably a contributing factor. There can also be some genetic components to angel wing, but even though I haven't had to deal with it a lot in my flock, I have had to learn about it. We've had a couple of the ducks develop angel wing, and I did similar treatments to them. What's different about this time is that I decided, since he's so little and I wasn't sure how effective it would be to put this wrap around him, I used a NextCare, like a medical first aid paper tape. That's what's wrapped around his wings, or that one wing. So I got that wrapped first, knowing that even if the mummy wrap came off, that would at least still hold that wing in the proper position for a day or two. Of course, baby water birds in general, they're going to poop wherever they are, whenever they are. I was covered in poop by the end of this treatment, and so was he. But he did pretty well. It took a little bit of reassuring and some extra love here and there just to let him know that it was okay. But like any baby, he just didn't want to be still. It's hard to be a baby and have to be still and miss out on all the fun things that are happening beyond the spot where you're supposed to be still. So I've got this mummy wrap around both wings, and I'm going to just wrap him up with this NextCare paper tape, and we'll see what happens. I don't really expect it, and I didn't really expect it to stay in place for very long, but I had hoped that I could at least keep this wrap on him for a day. I had already decided that after 24 hours I was going to take everything off if I needed to and either redo it or leave it off. But for this first little part of the treatment, I felt like it was really important to secure that wing as much as possible. So we've got the mummy wrap, we've got the paper tape around the wing itself, and then I'm just using that same paper tape around the wrap because it's very hair and feather friendly. It's easy to peel that off. But I did have to get resourceful to figure out how to get this wrap on him so he wouldn't just wiggle himself right out of it. This didn't take too terribly long. It would have been a whole lot easier for me if I had had someone to help. Even though the camera was on a tripod, Richard wanted to be looking through the camera. But I think Perrin forgave me relatively quickly, and it was time to move him back out to the flock. So as you can see, it didn't take long for his little mummy wrap to start coming undone, but I really wanted to try and leave it on, and at least until I put them to bed that night. This is on Saturday, April 13th, early in the morning. As soon as I let them out, I did the wrapping. And aside from his little hobble, because I'm sure it was weird to have something around him and then something hanging down by that right leg, he had a good time. So, but before they went to bed, I took that wrap off of him, but I left the tape in place. It looks like it's securing the wing exactly like I wanted it to. And I decided I would just leave that in place for a couple of days, and then I would take it off to see what the wing looked like. He still thoroughly enjoyed his time with his siblings and with the flock. The little babies had no idea that there was something medical going on with one of their family members.
Let's show everybody your wing today, baby. That's
So this
2
is
days
this
of
morning,
being
Monday
wrapped.
the 15th, so 2 days after putting that in place.
Okay, you need to turn around so we can see the other side. Oh, he pooped on me. You pooped on me. Let me see his wing, Mama. Okay, there it is right there.
I took the tape off of him as soon as I let them
That's
out of
him
the
right there.
pen.
I need to wait till he flaps it out the first time.
I think we did what we needed to do. It may have to be repeated
These
at
little
some
ones went
point. I'll keep an eye on that. I have reduced their feed. He's on like a 17% protein right now instead of the 20% chick starter protein he was on.
the back
I've
there,
already
the
cut the
back of
ducklings
those
protein
three.
a little bit too, just so I can avoid a similar issue with one of them.
What is it?
But he's none the worse for
Oh,
wear.
I don't think we're going to the back today because I'm not ready for those little.
And I'm feeling very grateful that I haven't had to deal with angel wing very often with my flock. I'll keep you posted, so check back for updates. If that wing starts looking wonky again, we'll just do another round of wrapping. And eventually I'll have their protein down to about 14%.